Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Jungle.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining us on Prime Television News Bulletin at 19:30 to present it. My name is Abigail Mtali. Here are the headlines. PF is finished, charges Rainbow Party. ODI Liberation Party condemns the appointment of Inonga Wina as VIP. A concerned citizen donates goods to Poor People's Party president. And in international news, AU calls for regional force to fight Boko Haram. For these plus many more stories, join us shortly after this break. And now the main news in detail. The opposition Rainbow Party has announced that it is ready to wrestle power from the ruling Patriotic Front, PF, in 2016. The party says this follows the complete establishment of structures in all the 10 provinces. Rainbow Party Lusaka Province Chairman Goodson Banda says by 2016, no political party will match the strength of his party. Mr. Banda states that his party has remained the party of choice, judging from the many people joining the party on a daily basis. Mr. Banda, who is former PF Lusaka district chairman, said this in Lusaka when he met party officials from the structures to strategize on party mobilization in readiness for 2016.
2016 we are going to be a force, and our goal is to win and form government. Yes. Because we are very serious people. Yes. We are disciplined team. We are people who are looking at everybody as Zambian, not from one region. And we want to ask all the Zambians, all well-meaning Zambians, to condemn tribalism in Zambia. The Zambian people are not looking for a Bemba to be president. The Zambian people are not looking for a Tonga to be president. The Zambian people are not looking for a Lozi to be president. The Zambian people are looking for a person who has qualities and who can meet their aspirations as Zambians.
Meanwhile, Mr. Banda says the PF has remained a shell of itself following the death of President Michael Sata. Mr. Banda explains that in its current form, the PF has no potential and capacity to rule beyond 2016. He explains that the party has completely drifted away from its core vision of socialism to capitalism, which the party was founded on. The Rainbow Party official further claims that the intolerance and fights within the ruling party is another issue which has made it unattractive to many people to stick to the party.
The patriotic front have shown intolerance. With some of us, we left the party. Yes. We left that party because of one, intolerance. There's no love, too much hatred. Yes. So many things. Even the policies we are pursuing. In our constitution, we are saying we are going to pursue socialist policies. Yes. We departed from it. They are no longer doing that because we said we are going to socialize education. Are they providing free education? The answer is no.
Patriotic Front in Pongo District says it will not be moved by the defection of some of its former party members to the opposition Rainbow Party. PF District Secretary Joseph Mlenga says the party remains intact, as all its former party officials were a source of confusion and belonged to what he termed as the cartel. Mr. Mlenga says Roderick Chitalu, Kapesa Masase and Charles Mubanga, who recently defected to the opposition Rainbow Party, were all suspended officials and is not a factor in its operations. He adds that the ruling party is stable and performing extremely well, contrary to claims that it is made by confusion. And when reached for a comment, former PF constituency chairperson Roderick Chitalu accused the ruling party of creating a hostile environment for experienced politicians who are now seeking refuge in the Rainbow Party. Government says research in the country plays a critical role in ensuring that there is accountability in managing public resources. State House Permanent Secretary Manuel Chuluba Nama says research is an important component in the distribution of resources and work. He says research from organizations has continued to provide government with high-quality research, which has resulted in the strengthening of decision-making in government. And Swedish Deputy Head of Mission to Zambia, David Winking, says parastatals play a big role in most democratic countries by ensuring that there is employment for the youths. The two were speaking during the official launch of Policy Monitoring and Research Center's launch of the parastatals analysis in Lusaka.
As for Sweden, our cooperation with Zambia with regard to development cooperation rests on three legs. We work on health with a particular focus on maternal health and nutrition and child health. We work on productive employment, very much in line of the priorities of the government, of course, making sure that employment is possible not only in Lusaka but also on the countryside. And the third area, and the third leg where we work is also governance, with a particular focus on accountability. And this project falls within that category.
Research in any organization, be it government or otherwise, is a very, very important component which cannot be overemphasized. The role of research is very important. PMRC has continued to provide government with high quality research that has remained unbiased and has surely assisted in government making decisions.
And PMRC Head of Research Analysis, Alex Armitage, says PMRC's research on the Auditor General's report helps governments and institutions to be transparent in national resources. She says over the past 3 years, over 18.35 billion kwacha was under query for parastatals in the Auditor General's report.
Now, this research forms part of a larger series focusing on the Auditor General's reports and governance within Zambia. It looks at issues of transparency and accountability in public expenditure. Through this research series, we've aimed to review and analyse some of the policies and procedures behind public expenditure to ensure that national resources are being maximised and contributing to sustainable national development. Now, we began this research early in 2014 with the launch of our Auditor General report analysis, which many of you may have attended. This research paper took a look at the 2010 to 2012 Auditor General reports, looked at some of the issues that are affecting public expenditure in general within Zambia.
A concerned citizen has donated households to Poor People's Party President Alex Mliokela. Patrick Mungo, who is also 2016 Munali constituency aspiring candidate, says he decided to buy household goods for Mr. Mliokela so as to help improve his life. He has called on government and other stakeholders to seek ways of improving the lives of the less privileged in society. The donated items worth 3,500 kwacha include of beds, mealie meal, pots and cooking oil, among other household items.
Poor People's Party President Alex Mliokela has continued to receive sympathy from various sections of society. On Thursday, a concerned citizen who is also 2016 Munali constituency aspiring candidate, Patrick Mungo, visited Alex Mliokela at his home in Lusaka's Kanyama compound to donate various household goods. In handing over the items, Patrick Mungo says he decided to buy household goods for Mr. Mliokela so as to help improve his life.
I've decided to donate something worth about 3,500 to make sure that it really helps him to uplift his living style, unlike whereby he's just sleeping in that house which is in a very bad state without a bed, without mattress. So he's also a human being. So I'm calling upon the government, the civil societies, the non-government organizations, as well as also the church to make sure that they look after the people who are less privileged across the country. It's not only Mr. Mliokela. There are also a lot of people at the national level who are living under poverty, of which these people are supposed to be recognized. So this is what I can say.
I don't know how to start and how to end, but my simple word is that may the Lord be upon the gentleman here, Patrick, and all those he organized who donated those such things. I didn't expect it to happen. But through the power of the living God, he managed to organize. And it is truly, he told me, he has done exactly what he said. So I really have no words to extend that. It is not me to say, but God is the one who will bless him and who know how to say other additional words.
And neighbors to Mr. Mliokela, who have been looking after his property, also expressed gratitude to the continued donation, but made various concerns.
Chipempa kofiti bamangire ko chena nyumba so nani ivi vintu vabwera bachitopempa chekwa ne vizaendo kunkala pantu vikasalao mubazaba bera pano nchito bakachokapo ine nchito yanga so chabe kungo balondera chabe bama babera nani nikachokapo zapeza chati baba kachokapo wapeza chati baba so bamangire ko chabe nyumba yakuti vintu so chabe vikabwera vangenako
estimvera musha mwene wagonera so ere vintu siviri bwino so at least pawagulira ko ibedi at least vingankhareko bwino tivatandizireko chifukwa sitimvera bwino mwetigonera ise manyumba yatu aya but vevagona omusitisekeramo na ise sitimamvera bwino okay.
The donated items worth over 3,500 include a bed, millie meal, pots and cooking oil, among other household items. Mathana Manje, Prime TV News, Lusaka.
You are still watching Prime Television Main News Bulletin with me, Abigail Mtali. Just a reminder of the top stories as we go for a break. PF is finished, charges Rainbow Party. ODI Liberation Party condemns the appointment of Inongewina as VIP. A concerned citizen donates goods to Poor People's Party president. Stay tuned.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
What's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Welcome back. We now continue with the news. ODI Liberation Party, OLIPA, has strongly condemned the appointment of Inongewina by Edgar Lungu as vice president. Party President Pundumwana Mwelwa says as their party, they have disassociated themselves from all the praise going to President Edgar Lungu appointing Inongewina. He says this is not the first time that Inongewina is serving in government position, adding that while she has served, she has failed to perform. Mr. Mwanamwelwa indicates his party is disappointed with NOGOCC for drumming up support in appreciating the appointment of Inongewina. He adds that people should know that political position call for people that have right skills and knowledge to serve well in government. Mr. Mwanamwelwa says this in an interview with Prime Television News in Lusaka.
We are disassociating ourselves from those who are endorsing and congratulating His Excellency President Edgar Lungu for endorsing and appointing the only woman to the position of vice president, that because that appointment was a political appeasement, it was a political thanking. That was the only woman who stood firmly to allow that illegal conversion in Kabwe, which made the president, Edgar Lungu, to become PF president.
The Lusaka High Court has dismissed an application to quash the warrant of seizure of plot number 3, Twin Palm Road, Kabulonga, by Vivian Mondoloka, in which the ACC seized the property during a corruption investigation against her late husband, Luambe Crispin Mondoloka. Vivian Mondoloka, the administrator of the estate for her late husband, sued the ACC demanding that the court quash the warrants of seizure of plot. The property was seized pursuant to provisions of Section 58 Cap 1 of the Anti-Corruption Act No. 3 of 2012, following investigations that had been instituted against the late Mr. Mondoloka in his capacity as RDA board chairperson for allegedly influencing the awarding of contracts to Sanyati Construction Companies and China Civil Constructions. This is according to a statement made available to Prime TV by ACC Public Relations Manager Timothy Mono. A concerned citizen, Watson Mwemba, has charged that the just-ended election was a test to show how political parties stand with people. Mr. Mwemba says the elections have shown that PF is not a strong party for the 3 years that they have been in government. He adds that it should be a source of worry for PF that a party that has been in government for 3 years can be running neck and neck with the opposition UPND. Mr. Mwemba says the election results have shown that PF will not last long in government, judging by the past results. He was speaking in an interview with Prime Television News in Lusaka. Mr. Mwemba says UPND should not time the 2016 lightly because anything can happen because voting trends change.
No one should not feel to be intimidated by the PF. The PF has only won with 1.something%. A sign which shows that now they have been telling us that we are not a factor, and now this election, it has been an assessment election which has put each and every political party where it belongs. All the opposition political parties, including the ruling party, every Zambian now knows where it stands. UPND, we are proud that we have given, even after tampering with the figures, as we believe as UPND, we have given them a good run as a party in government.
Former Solwezi Mayor Emmanuel Chili has castigated the Kelengi Member of Parliament Elijah Mchima for having blamed Nevas Mumba on MMD election loss. He says the likes of Mr. Mchima reflects the dangerous new crop of hungry and morally bankrupt politicians of the belly who have surfaced and joined politics not to add any value to the political dispensation. Mr. Chili says one of the causes for voter apathy was because Zambians are discouraged by the display of opportunism characterized by many politicians. He said this in a statement released to Prime TV in Lusaka. Mr. Chili was responding to Mr. Mchima, who said that MMD President Dr. Nevas Mumba should blame democracy for his loss in the recent presidential by-election. Well, you are still watching Prime Television Main News. We take our second and final break, but still ahead in international news, AU calls for regional force to fight Boko Haram. Stay tuned.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. In international news, the African Union has called for a region of 5-nation force of 7,500 troops to defeat the horrendous rise of the Nigerian armed group Boko Haram, AU Commission Chief Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma has said. The statement on Friday came after Boko Haram increased cross-border raids in recent weeks in neighboring countries such as Cameroon and Chad as it continued to take over more territory in Nigeria. The Boko Haram uprising has become a regional crisis with the 4 directly affected countries, Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Nigeria, agreeing along with Benin to boost cooperation to contain the threat and to form a multinational joint task force. At least 26 people, mostly soldiers, have been killed in a series of attacks by Islamist militants in the north of Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. A car bomb and rockets hit several military targets in the North Sinai provincial capital of El Arish. Other attacks took place in the town of Sheikh Zayed and in Rafah, near Gaza. The U.S. condemned the attacks, saying it remains steadfast in its support of the Egyptian government's efforts to combat the threat of terrorism. Militant group Ansar Beit al-Maqdis, which pledges allegiance of Islamic State, said it carried out the extensive simultaneous attacks. The insurgents have intensified attacks since Egypt's Islamist President Mohamed Morsi was ousted in 2013. Well, for more on international stories, we monitored Al Jazeera.
Coordinated attacks have killed dozens of soldiers in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. A group that pledges allegiance to ISIL says it carried out the bombings. The army says 26 people have died, but some reports put that figure at more than 40. And ISIL fighters have killed a senior Kurdish commander and 5 Peshmerga troops in northern Iraq. Fighting began in parts of Kirkuk city at around midnight and went on until Friday morning. 46 people have been wounded. Meanwhile, residents in the ISIL-controlled city of Mosul in northern Iraq have told Al Jazeera it's become almost impossible to leave. They say the group wants to use them as human shields. Saudi Arabia's new king, Salman, has reshuffled his cabinet. He has replaced the Secretary General of National Security and the Governor of Mecca, but the key posts of oil and foreign ministers remain unchanged. A gas explosion at a maternity and children's hospital in Mexico City has left at least 3 people dead and dozens injured. The hospital partly collapsed after a gas tanker truck blew up outside. Many of those injured are young children and infants. The African Union is holding its 24th summit in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. Boko Haram attacks across northeast Nigeria are top of the agenda. The AU has endorsed a plan to set up a multinational task force to fight the armed group. It's also pushing for a power-sharing deal between South Sudan's president and his former vice president.
To end the news, a recap of the top stories once again. PF is finished, charges Rainbow Party. ODI Liberation Party condemns the appointment of Inongewina as VIP. A concerned citizen donates goods to Poor People's Party president. And finally, in international news, AU calls for regional force to fight Boko Haram. Well, thank you so much for staying with us on behalf of the production team and the news crew. My name is Abigail Mtale. Enjoy the rest of our programs.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in our newsrooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. ZESCO, powering the nation.